is the Nurses Doing GAMSAT podcast, brought to you by Thankfully GAMSAT. We're here to teach you how to smash the GAMSAT, get into medicine, and become a flippin' great doctor. Welcome back to the Nurses Doing GAMSAT podcast. This is where we help busy, brilliant people in healthcare get into med school. I'm Marie, and today I'm joined by Dr. Tom, founder of Thankfully GAMSAT. Welcome.
Hey, thanks, Marie.
In this episode, we are marking the end of 2025 GAMSAT, whoop, whoop, and showing you exactly how to start strong in March 2026. If you're unsure where to begin, what to prioritize, how to structure your next steps, this one is for you. So any of the resources that we mentioned today, the diagnostic test, the direction planner, any of the other things, we might even go into our med school comparison tool. All of the links, as usual, will be in the show notes. So if you want to stay and kind of plan ahead for this cycle, make sure you hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button, wherever you're listening, so you can actually see what's up and coming as well.
Yeah, we have some great
Tom,
content.
let's dive in. Let's talk a little bit about how we know that this GAMSAT cycle has come to an end officially and what we need to look for the next one.
It is a interesting time in the GAMSAT cycle. Now, before we jump into that, I just want to let you guys know that we have lots of great content coming for you in the podcast in the lead up to March 26. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. We're going to be mentioning it today as well, what's coming your way. But yeah, so the 2025 GAMSAT cycle is done. It's right now, it's finishing up, and there are 3 indicators to tell you that that's done, and then we now need to redirect to March 2026. We're also going to be talking about how to redirect. So the first indicator that March 2025, or that kind of March 25 cycle is done, is that the medical school offers have been released. Wow, yeah, so all the people that did the March 25 exam and they applied in May, did their interviews around July, August, September, now have received their offers. And we had some amazing messages from boot campers, getting a couple of offers from different medical schools. One of them was like, hey, I'm now in the difficult position of having to choose between 2 medical schools, which is a great position to be in. And so that marks the end of that cycle. There's no more to do there. And now, if you were involved in that March 2025 cycle, then you're probably in a couple of positions now in terms of the results. If you applied and you did the interview, you either got an offer or you didn't get an offer. Now, if you got an offer, congratulations. This is an exciting, it's done for you, or almost done. You now need to get ready for medicine, right? Because this is when you get in and you start, the first 6 months, as we always tell our boot campers, is pretty much a readjustment period where you're getting used to the flow of a medical degree, the lifestyle or the work ethic that's required. And we're going to be releasing a podcast episode all about how to thrive in medicine in your medical degree. So make sure you subscribe and follow, because we're going to release that in the next couple of weeks. What about, Marie, people who didn't get an offer? You got the dreaded, as it's referred to, email of death, where We're
going to need to get back into GAMSAT mode, back into planning mode. I think if you're in that situation, I really just feel for you, because obviously you went okay last time, like well enough to get an interview. But sometimes it's not just the interview that can kind of let you down. If you're in that like gray zone where you're like a 67, 68, 69 kind of area, and then your GPA is also in that like gray zone where it may or may not be enough, unless you were like top of the class in your interview, then you're not going to get an offer, because you're kind of like, just scraping in. So I feel for you. Like, my heart goes out to you, because to me, it is way easier to not even get an interview and not get in, because then you haven't spent the last 6 months kind of with your hopes high. But what we need to do is just regroup. We just need to like take a minute, take a deep breath, maybe go through all the emotions of grieving, disbelief, anger. Eventually we're going to get to acceptance. And then we're going to hit the ground running with GAMSAT, because we don't want you to be in that grey zone again. We want you to have smashed it 75, 80, whatever we need to do to kind of make you feel comfortable that the next round, whenever you get an interview, even if you stuff up one station, for example, it's not going to make or break your whole entire offer.
Yeah.
So I think at some point in this episode, we'll go through how to kind of restart again, how to regroup, what to do if you're starting now, whether you've done it or not. That's really what we're going to do. We're going to refocus.
Yeah, and yeah, we're going to go through the 3 steps of what to do to kind of refocus and move forward. Now, for you guys, just briefly before we move on, I know what it's like because I've actually been there as well. While Maria, you were saying, I was kind of going back to the time when I had an interview with the University of Sydney, and I didn't get through. I got the dreaded email of death, and I was shocked and bewildered and just devastated. And the difficult thing is that you then need to regroup. I remember it was like December when they told early December. It was a lot later in the year.
Maybe
Because I remember I had to like quickly get redirected towards the next March, because the next March GAMSAT was coming up and I had to study for it. So we know what it's like and we've seen it, and we could, these 3 steps that we're going to share with you shortly are going to really help. All right, and so then we've got indicator number 2 that the 25 season is over and it's time to focus on March 26, is that the uni exams are wrapping up. We're in that, mid of November time when the exams are just about done for most people. And when the exams are done, it's time to focus on GAMSAT. You'll find that majority of people are if they're not already planned for GAMSAT, they're getting planned now and they're getting started. So for you guys, you should be really focusing on uni. That's your number 1 priority. Your GPA, you got to get that really good. And and at the same time, you can start to organize yourself for GAMSAT. Now you won't have much time or energy to really dive into your GAMSAT study until uni exams are over. For most of you, I mean, some of you probably not. You probably have the time, but you can get started getting organized for what you're going to do once uni exams are over. And again,
like even in exam mode still. Like, now's the time to actually start getting organized. I actually am just texting with a non-student of mine who we spoke 2 weeks ago, and she was like, I'm in exams right now, but I need to start thinking about it. So I gave her a little bit of homework to do. It wasn't overwhelming at all. It was just a small amount of things for her to do. And then she just texted me this morning and said, hey, just checking in. I've just finished my exams. I'm going to get the homework done. Can we talk on Monday? So she's kind of like pre-spending her time going, I know exams are happening, but I also know my next steps, and I've booked in a call so that I have a deadline to get all the homework done. And that's actually prompting her to move forward, because even like a 1 hour call or 1 hour of planning can set you up for a strong December. So don't underestimate. Like, it's not like oh my God, it's only exams and there's absolutely nothing else I can ever think about. Like, you need a break from studying, from your exams, even for an hour. You're going to feel better for it, just being able to plan.
Yeah, and in a second, again, the 3 steps are going to help you as well. Interesting point. What a mistake or a trap that a lot of people fall into who are doing uni exams is they're like, I'll get started with GAMSAT after my exams, and then the exams are finished, and they're like, well, I kind of need a break before I start GAMSAT, and they take a week or 2 off to do whatever they do, and then it's Christmas and New Year's come around. They're like, well, I'm not going to study I'll start afterwards, and then it's the New Year, and they're like, oh, well, I kind of don't want to start yet. I'll start after Australia Day, and Australia Day comes up, and they're like, holy crap, it's end of January. The essay exam is at the end of February, and then there's sections 1 and 3 in March, and they're behind. So and it might sound a bit exaggerated, but it's not. Like, this happens way too much, because then you might do a bit of work here and there. You might go on a trip to Bali or something, and before you know it, you're behind and you're panicking, and March is pretty much done. So that's why.
Honestly, Tom, that happens all the time. I had a student who actually came to me, and she came to me in October, maybe early October, late September. and she was like, I'm getting married end of October, and I know kind of the week before the wedding, I'm going to have that week off, and then I've got like a honeymoon like a couple of weeks after that. And the good thing about her was she was like, I know I've got this thing that, she's not going to move her wedding date because it's against that, but like she had pre-spent, she was like, I know that means beforehand I need to do more and after I need to do more. And so it was really about her getting clarity about what needs to happen when and when she can have that break. So it's like breaks are not bad. Like we have students who take little breaks here and there all the time, but it's what are you doing outside of that break? Because if you're like, oh, just after this thing, just after this thing, just after this thing, there's always going to be a thing. Like legitimately, there's always Christmas, there's New Year's, there's birthdays, there's your little sister's birthday, then there's like Australia Day, and then uni starting, and then it's like always a thing.
Yeah.
You just got to get moving. Like now is the best time. Now,
Yeah.
no matter when now is. Like if it's now when we're recording, if it's now when you're listening, now.
Yeah, and I think you got to decide who do you want to be. Do you want to be the person who's just thrown around by all these reasons and excuses to not do it, or do you want to be someone who gets it done no matter what? Because I can tell you right now that the medical students, the guys that get in and succeed, they're the ones that get it done. And these are Marie's giving you some great examples of how to actually do that. So hopefully this episode can help you to do that. And so then, the idea is that you get organized now, and then once uni exams are over, you jump into your GAMSAT study. And be going at full throttle there. Now, that's the second indicator that the 2025 season is over. The uni exams are wrapping up. The third indicator is that the September GAMSAT results are coming out every day now. Maybe by the time this episode airs, they've already been released. But that's, again, it's like a full stop on the 2025 season. September results are out. And at that point, if that's you, if you sat September, you'll be in one of probably three camps. One is you got a great result, you're happy with it, you're not doing the camps again, in which point you got to start looking at applications. So head to the show notes and I will put in our medical school comparison tool, which compares all the different medical schools. What are the entry requirements, GPA, bonus points, GAMSAT, all that kind of stuff. You can start to plan ahead. The second group
on from that, I don't think people realize how easy that tool makes application stuff, because you're not looking at literally 12 different websites trying to compare them. All the websites look differently. You can't get the information that you need. This is just like a one-stop shop for everything. We don't favor or preference any university. So with the data that we have, it's collected from so many different ways. It is literally all handed to you on a platter. So go, even if you've not sat the GAMSAT, just understanding what all the different requirements are. This comparison tool is amazing. And thanks, Tom, for just giving it away for free. I love that.
No problemo. Yeah, we put a lot of work into it every year to update it, to make sure that it's thorough and current and you can rely on it and make some important decisions on it.
Like life-changing decisions.
Yeah, we take it pretty seriously. Like that's what I tell the team when we're putting it together. It's like this isn't a joke. Like people making life-changing decisions on this, we need to make sure that it is accurate. I'm like, where did you get this data from? Is this reliable? Can we make decisions on this? Yeah. So head on over there. It's in the show notes. And so then that's for people who are happy with their result. Now, the other two might be kind of unhappy or not sure. Kind of crazy. For you guys, if you're doing the GAMSAT again, if you're doing it in March, if you want to increase it, if you want to take your score further to be more confident with it, or to improve it, then now is the time to start working on that. Now, right? Not in a week or 5 weeks or in a month or after Christmas. It's now. Because that's when people are seriously doing it. Like right now, we have people in our bootcamp program who are doing 10 hours a week of GAMSAT study. And that's what we tell them. I sent out an email the other day and I've been encouraging them, and our team has too. It's like, hey, our expectation for you is 10 hours a week at this point. Minimum, at least 10 hours.
I love in that email, and I don't know, maybe you don't want to share with everyone publicly, but in the email, you're like, here is actually how to do it. You can do
it's easy.
2.5 hour sessions
No,
back to back twice a
yeah.
week.
So 2 days where you do so it's split up into over 2 days where you do 2.5 hours in the morning, 2.5 hours in the afternoon, or you can do what's an hour and a half each day for 7 days, or you can do 2 hours a day for 5 days. Like it's very easily done around whatever it is you're doing in life.
Yeah. Sometimes just breaking it down like that makes it more realistic about, oh, okay, I can do that. I
Yeah,
can get to work 2.5 hours earlier, bang out a session, and then that same evening bang out a session, and do that twice a week. And the rest of the week you're set. If you do that on a Monday and a Wednesday, you got the whole weekend off. Well, some people, like to me, if it was me and I needed to find 10 hours, I would do 5 hours, get up normal time, like 6 a.m. on a Saturday and a Sunday, and I'd just bang out 5 hours each of those days. And if you get up at 6 and you do it early, like you're done by what's that, 11 a.m.
yeah,
Like you got your whole Saturday and Sunday. It's not like you got to
yeah. I
binge
mean,
right on your weekend.
I recommend you don't. Like, I tell our boot campers not to leave it till the end of the week because then you just
Well, you can
don't
see
do
it
it.
the other way. This could be the start of the week.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, I tell them to start early. Get ahead for the week. The more you do early in the week, the less stress you'll be
There's
down the end
no
of the week.
right way though. You see,
Yeah,
look, two people looking at it from a different angle. Just get it done,
that's
right?
it. And the
Done
thing
is
is,
better
it
than
we
not
will
done.
increase. It's 10 hours for now.
You will.
It's going to go up as the games gets closer. But anyway, that's what we tell our boot campers at this point. Um, so yeah, September GAMSAT. And so then let's talk about these 3 steps. So for all the people that we've mentioned so far, if you're doing March, if you've gone, yep, I got to do March, here are the 3 steps to either get started with your preparation, to get organized if you're doing uni exams, or to improve it if you've already been studying.
I'll dive in. Step
Okay.
1, do the diagnostic tests. They're an hour and 39 minutes total. They're in the show notes, or Tom, what's the best way
Yeah,
for
in the
people
show
to reach
notes, there's
out?
going to be a
Show
link to them.
notes,
They're free.
free. And what this is going to do is it's going to show you where you're at for section 1 and section 3, and then what to focus on. Now, if you think about a map, okay, if you're in Bangkok and you want to get to the Bangkok markets, the first thing you need to do is write where you want to go, Bangkok markets. The second thing you need to do is say where you're at now. Because if you don't know where you are at, then it doesn't matter where you're going, you're not going to know the right direction. So the diagnostic test, I always see it like building a map or like getting an x-ray if you've broken your leg. You have to know where you're at before you can create the plan. So do the diagnostics. If you've not done any sciences, or you're like, oh, I'm a science student or something and I'm freaking out about section 1, whatever, just rip off the Band-Aid and do it. We know you're not going to go great. The point is not, I have to go great right now. Like, for example, I don't speak Chinese. If you gave me a Chinese test right now, I know I'm going to fail it. But there's also going to be some things that I do know, just culturally, like growing up. I can say ni hao, like I can say things, and maybe I get 1 out of 40 on that test and it is confirming that I really don't know that much. Or maybe I get more and I surprise myself. I'm not expecting to go well, but I still need to know that information before I then start to learn.
Yeah, and
Drop
then
myself
it'll
in.
actually show you what are the things you need to study to increase your marks quickly, and
Exactly.
where's your kind of most outcomes or the most utility you'll get for the effort that you put in, and it also directs you to the resources that you need to use as well. So we've tried to make it as useful and helpful for you guys as possible.
Totally. And I think a lot of people, because I direct people to this diagnostic test all the time, sometimes I get a little bit of pushback. Like, I know I need everything. I know I need nothing. And I'm like, we want the data. I don't want to go on vibes. I want to go on, let's actually look at what the data's telling me, because sometimes in our own brains, we get things skewed. And actually, it goes the other way as well. Like, I'm a so-and-so student, I'll be fine in that section. It's like,
Yeah,
no, let's not guess. If you've never even looked at a question before, or if you've never sat a diagnostic before, let's just sit down and do it. And know Like, there's never going to be a spotlight going, you suck at this thing, and it's going to be put on a billboard. No, it's just like information data so we can build what is the next most important step, and what a good segue I just did there, which is making your direction planner. So a direction planner is a planner that builds your timeline, your habits, your priorities. It should be really tailored to your works, like your lifestyle, your work style. It feels the same way, lifestyle, work style sometimes, but it should be kind of tailored to that lifestyle, which is, are you working shifts? Are you studying full time? No matter what it is, we've got you, but your direction planner should be incorporating all of these things so that we know not only when you're studying, and this is like, heads up, people tell me this all the time. Well, I study 2 hours a day. I don't care about the 2 hours a day. I care about what you achieve in those hours. So your direction planner shouldn't just tell you the times you're studying. It should tell you the outcome of the times that you're studying. And those outcomes come from the direction planner. So it might be like, I need to work on graphical interpretation. That's a high skill on my list. I know I'm not great at that. In your direction planner, it should outline what are the core modules or things that you're going to do to build your graphical interpretation. Where are the worked examples? So you can see it in different contexts. Worked examples are very important like that, because when you're learning a process, if you change the context, sometimes it looks so different. Like, if you're learning how to swim in a pool and you're 5 years old, your mum's not just chucking you in the ocean. Same skill, different context. Could end very poorly, right? So worked examples become important. And then, of course, practice questions. But if you are a long-time listener of this podcast, you would know I hate the word practice questions. I love the word feedback questions, because the feedback questions, the practice questions, are the final step in you learning the skill. It is not the first step. The first step is always learning the replicatable processes. Second step is going to be worked examples. And then last step is the practice questions, or like I say, feedback questions, because that's giving you feedback as to whether or not you're doing the first step correctly. So those practice questions don't teach you anything. They simply provide feedback about what you already know. So your direction planner should encompass all of these things. Now, if you're talking to me, obviously I'm going to say, well, the boot camp's going to give you all the resources to be able to do that. But if it's not the boot camp, you need to have other things that clearly show you, how am I building this skill? What is the skill? How am I building it? And when am I going to do it? And so, anyway, I've kind of just like hijacked.
No, that's great.
It feels like.
And so if you want to get started on your direction planner, go to the show notes. We've got a couple of resources in there to help you
What are
get
these
rolling.
resources, Tom?
Oh, it's the instructional thing on the direction planner to kind of
I love
get
that.
you started
Okay.
with it.
So I didn't have to go on a full rant, is what you're telling
No,
me.
that was useful because it explains how it works and what the point is of it. That's great. So far, just to recap, step one was to do those diagnostic tests, whether you've done the GAMSAT before or not. Because if you've done the GAMSAT, you know they don't give you any feedback. So that's step one, the diagnostic tests, again in the show notes. Step two was a direction planner to organize your time and your study and know what you're doing when. And then step three is to book a call with our team to make sure you're on the right path. And again, that's going to be free, just to help you to make sure that you're not going down any rabbit holes, that you're not missing important things, that you're not misinterpreting this test, that you're actually doing the right things and heading in the right direction. And again, that's in the show notes. So with all those three things, we feel that, and we found over the last 19 years now of doing this, that's the best way to get the ball rolling and be on the right path. And we're here to help you to do that.
Love that.
Cool.
Yeah, and I love to speak to people too, like myself and my team. We won't just double check your plan, but if it's appropriate, we'll recommend the boot camp to you and see if that's a fit. If it's not a fit, that's cool too. We'll at least be able to point you in the right direction as to what we think will actually help you. And I love just hearing feedback, and I feel like I'm going to toot my own horn for a second, but I say this genuinely. Sometimes it's just one external person looking at what you're doing, giving a bit of feedback that can make all the difference. Like the amount of people that I have saved from just deep diving into physics when it's not actually what would have changed their results is incredible. Like,
Amazing.
Yeah, I want to save people doing the wrong stuff, and particularly if you've started before.
So if any of this applies to you, if any of the following applies to you, you need to start now. If you didn't get an offer recently for a medical school, and you want to get a different result next year, if you're wrapping up exams, if you're about to wrap up exams, you need to get the ball rolling. If your September GAMSAT result wasn't enough, or you want to take it further, or if you've already started and you want to improve your preparation, these 3 steps, the resources we have in the show notes are going to help you to do that. And now the key is that now is the time to start for March. Get the ball rolling so that you are, on the right path.
Amazing. Well, I think this is a wrap. Thanks for listening to this episode of Nurses Doing GAMSAT. If you're studying for March 2026, now is your moment.
Yes, now is the time.
Now is the time. Check the notes for the links to our diagnostic test, the direction planner, and the med school comparison tool. And if this has helped you, please hit follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. And please share it with someone else doing the GAMSAT too. Share the love. We're all in this together. Let's make this your year. Bye
See
for
you
now.
guys. Bye.
Hey, I have a cool gift for you, just for listening to the Nurses Doing GAMSAT podcast. We do some of our best work in our Facebook group called, you guessed it, Nurses Doing GAMSAT. It's free to join, and every day we're sharing actionable guides, tips and tricks, and really just how to smash the exam and get into medicine. You can join today by searching Nurses Doing GAMSAT on Facebook. Thanks for listening to another episode, and I'll see you next time.